We live in a world now where it's going to be very important going forward. And of course, I could have easily said this some months ago or some years ago. I probably did, but it's important that I say it again to reiterate in order to hopefully try to stimulate thought and mind. It's very important who you listen to, and you cannot afford to go forward in your life operating by feelings and emotions which you don't understand. Because the majority of people I meet, they are controlled in their life by feelings and emotions or by what other people think about them. Now, I call that the ultimate prison and the ultimate bondage. Ben Shalom Bernanke has all but guaranteed that more than likely we're going to see $50 an ounce silver before the end of the year. But one thing I do know for sure, it's going over 50 and it's going to bust right through it. And I've had my set of critics and my, people who always, they can't wait to just pounce on anything that I say. Rather than being angry, I think that people should consider, and it takes a wise person to be able to step back for a moment, because we all experience pain when we first, come face to face with the truth. I know I have. I can speak for me. I can speak for myself. I know that Pastor Dow has had many things. I've had to go back, look at. I've had a lot of things that I held sacred that I believe to be true, just ripped and torn from me. I mean, and then the letdown. Whoo, boy, who can handle the letdown? The letdown is just amazing in itself. When you believe to be something to be so right, only come to find out that you are wrong. Well, there's two things you can do about it. Either you can go ahead and repent and change and then start making a brand new role and walk in the newness of life, or you can stay in that same old condition feeling sorry for yourself. I'm not about to do that, because that person never grows. That 10 years from now, that person is not going to be better, but he's going to be worse. You ever heard of going from bad to worse? But the fundamentals of our economy, it's easy to call. It's really, truly easy to call. I mean, I'm self-educated, pretty much self-educated. And I read a lot of books. And the economic health of our country, we're in bad health. We are in very bad health, and we're dependent upon the system to renew our Medicaid and Medicare, i.e. by the printing of money called Federal Reserve notes. And we are in some very serious trouble. We are in very serious trouble. The reason why come we don't experience what you call the Great Depression right now is because almost 50% of America is on food stamps. And we have a printing press. And that printing press brings forth the illusion that we're not in any type of depression. No, we're in a depression big time. The depression is going to pale in comparison to a hyperinflation. Because the people in this country, their minds are not conditioned to handle what's getting ready to take place. Of course, we're going to find out if you were wise, or if the person you listened to was wise, or the person you rejected was wise or not. We're going to find out as the days go forward. Just like I was telling people over and over and over again, many years ago, do not go out and buy a home on a 30-year mortgage. Now, who want to follow that kind of advice? Nobody want to follow that kind of advice, because our lust in our eyes, it speaks more than sense does. I remember I wanted a house just like everybody else. I really, truly did. I wanted a house just like everybody else. But as a young man, I just could not square in my thoughts, in my mind. I just couldn't do it. I could not do it. I didn't know much about building at that time. And I did not know much about, the cost of building materials, what was going to be incurred and all this stuff. So you know what I did? I self-educated myself in that area as well. The home that you see me sitting in, I built it with these own two hands. And I had some help with the brethren from the assembly. Can't believe it. Every Almost every single block on this building, I laid. I built every single cabinet in this building, the custom cabinets, and the cabinets in the bathroom. I did that. I laid the wood floor. I laid the hardwood floor myself. I had brethren, Elder Doug, Brother Rich, Brother Shane, Brother Doug Bell. I had these brethren here. They helped me build this home. Just like we are continually still trying to build more homes for the people, especially as we continue to keep growing and learning. And I can tell you what, when we got finished with this home, it was a fraction of the cost of what people would pay out there for a home. And I'm very happy and I'm very content. Yes, I am. And we have a few more that we need to do. But I tell you what, because we were wise and in, using a little bit of self-autonomy, not sitting back belly aching, looking at all the obstacles in front of us, making excuses why we can't do this and we can't do that, we can't do this, we can't do that. I got a shelf. Let me show you something here real quick. And I'm going to do it just for this particular video here for a second. Just for this particular video here for a second. And I have not even bought out everything that's on that shelf. You see what I have in my hand right here? You see what I have in my hand right here? I have a whole stack of books that I could grab in my hand that's falling all over the place. That gives you information on how to build, how to do, how to build. In other words, proactive. Look at all these books right here. I'm going to stack them up here for a second. Some I'm dropping down here. Got some more I'm dropping right over here. Books that I actually have went through, read, and learned. Instead of making excuses, instead of going out paying the professionals who are going to jack you left and right, I actually did the hard work and burned the oil while everybody else was watching movies, watching TV, living your life, driving your car, paying your mortgage, paying your rent. Pastor Dow was living in a shack of a trailer. And I know I got many digressions in this video, but I'm trying to teach you something by way of an example. If you're envy and you're full of jealousy, don't sit up here and allow yourself to be inflicted and enraged over this self-help video right here. But I sit up there and I burned the oil while everybody else was watching their movies with their popcorn, entertaining themselves, running to and fro all over the earth, doing whatever you're doing, wasting money. Pastor Dow and the brother near Straightway, especially me, I was reading books. Look at that. Reading books. That's what I was doing. Reading books. Getting the best education a man could get. A best education a man could get. And you know what that education was? Reading these books, learning how to build. But you know what? It's a little painful though, because you know what? You have to read. You have to actually read in order to do something like this. And a lot of people are just flat out are not going to do stuff like that. And I got all these books now, I got to put them all back. But a lot of people ain't willing to do that, but you know what they are. You know what a lot of people do? They'll get mad at you, talking i.e. me, for getting on here showing you that you can do this. All you have to do is change your mind. Just like the way with the economy with silver. If you would have invested in silver, I started buying silver when it was $4 an ounce. That's when I started. And I just held on to it. And if you go from 4 to 8 to 16 to 19 to 20 to 32 to 49, I bought silver, all those ranges. Not an extraordinary amount at one time because I don't have all that kind of money. But I bought silver because after reading all these books, I understood. Not because what the TV tell us. I don't depend on the government nor the TV to ever tell me the truth. I go just when I listen to a news report. First of all, I already know how the reporters are. They're just like lawyers. They're liars. You have to understand they don't call it liars. They call it deception. They call it strategy. There's no such thing as liars in a lying system. They have no morals. They have no values. They have no soul. They don't understand. Money is their God. That's their God. And they function out there. I function out there a total different way. And so in doing that, as well as reading the Bible for myself, I've come to find out that a lot of things that I've been taught and a lot of things I told I couldn't do, I actually did it when I started putting my hands to it. And guess what? You can do the very same thing. All you have to do is, number one, to make the biggest change that there is in this world. And that's this: changing your mind. The biggest thing there is. And in order to do that, sometimes you got to separate yourself from everything you thought to be true. Get you a period of time, of quietness. And then actually meditate and really truly evaluate what the truth is. And then from that point on, once you come to the conclusion, no matter how painful it is, walk in it. See, most people wasted their lives. I mean, just literally have wasted it. When I pass on, be the Father's will, and the Messiah hadn't come by then, I have something left behind for the saints of the Most High to enjoy, that they do not have to go out here and get jacked by the same system that's tried to jack us. Somebody had to do the building, because the generation before me didn't do it. Didn't have the presence, didn't have the mind, nor the awareness. And if you're listening to me, you're learning what it means to preserve yourself. And not only that, you're making moves right now. And you're thanking the Father that you had eyes to see, the ears to hear, and the heart to understand what's going on. Because if you listened to me years ago, the way that the precious metals is going, you're going to thank the Father that you had ears to hear. If you would have followed my lead, follow the lead and the example of the brother here at Straightway, when you come to these meetings and stuff and you see us right here, you'll see a bunch of proactive people that actually get it done. We don't sit back, maul, bawl, squall, and bellyache over what could possibly be done. We're not hoping, wishing, and dreaming. Hands on, get it done. I'm going to tell you right now, it's pretty painful to sit up and to pour yourself hours over books like this to try to understand, because after you get finished reading these books, the one thing they do not give you is the wisdom of actual hands-on building. You see, anybody can read this book and understand, but it's a total different dynamic when you actually get out there, get your hands dirty, get these calluses on your hands, which most people are not willing to do today, because, you know, we go from an air-conditioned home to an air-conditioned car to an air-conditioned building, and we ain't about to get no sweat on our brow for nothing. But you know what? You deserve exactly what you get when your world comes down upon you like a 2-ton heavy stick. Now, am I jumping on people today? You know, this video's done turned from talking about silver to a video of correction and reproof. Instruction and direction. And you know the reason why I do that? Because I'm so passionate about people. I know what it feels like when I was lied to. I know what it feels like when people were taking advantage of me because of my lack of knowledge. I know what it's like when people hate you and despise you because you try all your heart to be a man of honor, to do good. And no matter what, there's some people you are just not going to please no matter what, and you need to turn the page, leave them alone, because they added nothing to you in your life. And that's just the truth. And I just got finished having a big meeting here, gathering of the saints, where over 208 people from all over the world came to this little place right here, my home. And I've got family and brethren scattered out in the body of the Messiah that they came here to help instruct and help these people gain more valuable knowledge. Now, we're taking them through baby steps. They're nowhere near where we're at here. Nowhere near it. They have no idea. What's every year I try to make it a little bit more progressive far as tightening down. And next year, God, I'm going to tighten down even harder. And watch, I guarantee it's going to be less people next year, because they're not going to be able to handle the process of making the cut, because of the things I'm going to require of them. And not only that, I'm going to make sure it's less people, but I'm going to make sure that they're quality people who mean business, who are sick and tired of being deceived, who are sick and tired of being lied to. And I think that was my offense. My offense is I got one soul. And I realized that these bootlickers was playing with my soul, even though they were ignorant as well. because they had different ambitions and lusts and dreams which they wanted to make off of our backs. And so I hate the devil. And I'm doing everything I can to wake up the body of the Messiah, who have those who have ears to hear. So when I tell you certain things, no, you ain't gonna like what I've got to say. You ain't gonna like one thing I got to say, but I guarantee you the one thing, if you have a heart of integrity, and you are a man and woman of purpose, instead of just sitting up there, I don't like the way he talked, forget that shallow, ignorant response right there. Go back behind me and check to see if what I'm saying is so. And if it is so, repent, turn from the wicked way, and walk in the newness of life. Then you can thank the Father for the change that is coming your way. How in the world did I get off on a video like this? How did I do that? How in the world did I get on these digressions? I'm going to go back and look at this video and see how I got to this point. But anyway, whatever I told you, it's the truth, and it's the truth straight way.